SBI gives you only 90% of the collateral value as loan, whereas KVB offers you 100% of the collateral value as loan. But one very interesting feature of KVB is that you can also include tax, which is TCS on foreign remittance, as part of your loan expenses, and you can get a loan on that. Now let's talk about KVB's loan process, which I think is the biggest differentiator between KVB and other public sector banks and makes it the best. Hello all, this is Damini, co-founder of VMEX Scholars. I welcome you to the 52nd episode of our web series LoanFlix Season 2. This is a must-watch video for any student who is planning to take on an abroad education loan. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about the loan product of Karur Vysya Bank, which I believe is the best option available for students who are thinking of taking an abroad education loan with collateral. So when I say the best, I have compared literally all the parameters of their loan product with other nationalized banks like SBI, Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank, Union Bank, PNB, and after comparing all those parameters, I have come to this conclusion of declaring that Karur Vysya Bank is actually the best one. So in this video, at each parameter, be it loan amount, interest rate, loan margin, or processing fee, I will be telling you that at each of these evaluating parameters, how KVB is better than others. And not just the product side, I'll also talk about the process of KVB's education loan, so that you would understand how that is also better than the other public sector banks. Right, so let's start with that. But before that, for those of you who are new to my channel, let me tell you, LoanFlix is a web series which covers each and every detail of an education loan, right from the process, eligibility, sanction, disbursement, repayment, everything. And LoanFlix is an initiative of VMEX Scholars. VMEX Scholars is an organization which is funded and supported by the Ministry of IT, Government of India, and its sole purpose is to help students like you get an education loan sorted. And let me make it very clear, all the services of VMEX Scholars are completely free of cost. So you shouldn't give any second thought for getting in touch with our team for your education loan process. And to get in touch with our team, you can request a call back via the link mentioned above. So Karur Vysya Bank offers you a loan amount of up to 1.5 CR, which is again on par with the highest amount offered by SBI, but again way higher than the other nationalized banks like Bank of Baroda or Canara Bank or PNB. But one very important point to note here is that SBI gives you only 90% of the collateral value as loan, whereas KVB offers you 100% of the collateral value as loan, which again is the highest possible in the industry. So KVB has a very advanced product and process, so keep watching this video to understand that fully. So KVB accepts all major degree programs and courses, so be it a graduation degree or master's degree, PG diploma, PG certificate, all are acceptable. Even MBBS abroad, aviation, UG diploma, these kind of programs are acceptable, which other public banks may not accept. But KVB requires a very good income profile co-applicant for such courses to be accepted. So the rate of interest for Karur Vysya Bank is flat 9.99% for both male and female applicants, and it stays the same for all universities, which again makes it much lower than other public sector banks like SBI, Bank of Baroda, Union Bank, Canara Bank, PNB when we talk about their regular list of universities. For top universities, though, Union Bank and Bank of Baroda has a much better ROI, but firstly that special ROI is only for selected list of universities over there and doesn't apply to all institutions, and secondly the Union Bank and Bank of Baroda cannot compete with KVB when you compare all the other parameters, especially on the process timeline, which I'm going to talk about in a while. So Karur Vysya Bank charges you simple interest during the moratorium period, similar to other public sector banks, and also like other government banks, KVB's interest rate is also linked to repo rate, which means it can go upward or downward as the repo rate changes. Karur Vysya Bank charges a loan processing fee of 10,000 rupees plus GST, which is same as most public sector banks. The processing fee might be same, but the process is way smoother than the other public sector banks, and I'll talk about that in a while. And in addition to the processing fee, you will also have to pay about 8,000 to 10,000 rupees for legal and valuation charges, which is similar in all collateral loans. And this fees is not applicable if your collateral is a liquid security instead of a property. Two types of collaterals are accepted by Karur Vysya Bank. Number one is immovable properties like house, flat, land, and number two is liquid securities like FD, insurance policies, government bonds, etc. And as I already mentioned, you will be able to get up to 100% of the collateral value as your loan amount. You can include tuition fee, living expenses, be it hostel or outside, books and exam fee, flight tickets, laptop, all such expenses. But one very interesting feature of KVB is that you can also include tax, which is TCS on foreign remittance, as part of your loan expenses, and you can get a loan on that. And I hope you're aware that you pay 90% lesser tax on foreign remittance if you're sending the money through an education loan versus if you're self-funding. If you're not aware, do watch my detailed video on that. The link is mentioned above. For all the above mentioned expenses, KVB can offer you up to 97% of the total as loan amount if you're going to top 200 universities. But for all other universities, KVB can offer you up to 90% of the total expenses as the loan amount, which is again way better than other public sector banks. For example, Union Bank and PNB charges you 15% as loan margin. Wondering when do you have to start repaying back your education loan from Karur Vaishya Bank? So in all education loans, you get a grace period which is called as moratorium period or repayment holiday. So KVB offers you a moratorium period of course duration plus 6 months, and your EMI starts after this period is over, which is similar to most public sector banks. And during the moratorium period, you are not required to make any payments, but if you are able to make simple interest payments during this period, you will be eligible for a higher loan amount. But again, it is not mandatory to pay. And after your moratorium period is over, you get 10 to 15 years to repay back your education loan. So you need a co-applicant for availing an education loan in India, be it with any bank. So primarily accepted co-applicants are your parents, spouse or parents-in-law. But in case if none of these people have an income source or income proofs, you can add some other close relatives in the loan. Do you have any further question about the scheme's terms and conditions, or did I miss covering anything? Feel free to put it in the comments below and I'll definitely get back to you. Now let's talk about KVB's loan process, which I think is the biggest differentiator between KVB and other public sector banks and makes it the best. So the thing is, KVB is a very small bank compared to SBI, Bank of Baroda or Canara Bank. Because of this, their service standards are exceptionally well, and the bureaucracy is very little. So it's just a network of about 750 branches pan India. Because of that, everyone has access to the senior management. So any decision which has to be taken out of the box happens very easily there compared to when it is a large bank. Any decision out of the box just goes into a black hole. So I'll share a recent example with you. So there was a student who took loan for his flight training program via KVB. So the institute was not ready to accept the fee through wire transfer, which comes internationally, and they wanted the fee to be paid either via credit card or from the student's account locally within the same country. But as you know, as per Indian Banking Association guidelines, no bank is supposed to release the tuition fee component into the student's account. They are supposed to pay directly to the university. But when KVB got this weird request, unlike other government banks, they just didn't reject it. They asked us to intervene to understand the matter. So because we handle Karur Vaishya Bank's entire education loan portfolio pan India, so they got in touch with us and told me to understand this. I scheduled a call with the institute. I spoke to the lady from the institute, and I explained it to her the concern of the bank that the education loan money should not be utilized for any other purpose. So the admission coordinator, she assured me that as soon as she gets the money in her bank account, she would send us an acknowledgement. So just with this verbal commitment, KVB sent the entire tuition fee amount to the student's account just right next day, and the following day we got an acknowledgement from the university. So sorted. In my 7 years of dealing with bank, I have never seen such an issue getting resolved so simply. To start your loan process with KVB, you can request a callback using the above mentioned link, and after that you will be assigned a financial officer who will pre-screen your application and will make any profile improvement suggestions which you might require. And once that is done, you will be given the list of documents which you have to collect. Once you collect the documents, you will go through a video call for the verification of the documents. If everything is in place, you will be given an appointment with the branch to submit the hard copy of the documents. Now, once you submit the documents in the branch, it will take about 2 days for them to initiate your legal and valuation of the collateral. And again, the legal valuation in KVB takes only about 2 to 3 days, which is way faster than other large banks because KVB has lesser number of customers, so there is no long queue over there, right? So once the legal and valuation is done, it takes about 7 to 8 days for the sanction to be done. So all in all, KVB's process from start to end can be completed in about 2 weeks, and I have seen sanctions getting done in 10 days also. Do apply via VMAX Scholars, or alternatively you can also visit a KVB branch nearby and they would also send your details to VMAX Scholars team, and eventually we will have to handle your entire loan process, because as I mentioned, we are authorized to handle the entire education loan portfolio of Karur Vaishya Bank Pan India. I hope this exclusive video on Karur Vaishya Bank's education loan product was useful. I covered all the important parameters of their loan product, and I'm sure this information will really help you when you're weighing your education loan options. My last 5 years at VMAX Scholars has taught me one important thing, that every loan application is different and it has its own complexities. So it's always good to have some hand holding when you're going through this phase of your journey. So VMAX Scholars team plays the role of a mentor in this, your entire loan process. So do request a call back via the link mentioned above, and I'm sure you would be getting the much needed guidance from your financial officer at no cost. So if you found this video useful, please like and subscribe, and do share it with your friends and colleagues, and stay tuned for my next video.